Right, good afternoon and welcome to Tito the Troddler. It's been a while, so good to be with you again. Today I am starting off a walk and I'm going to do a wild camp, and I'm in the Yorkshire Dales, and at the moment I'm outside Rylstone Church. Rylstone obviously very famous for the Calendar Girls. The Calendar Girls came from here, and the Calendar Girls were a group of ladies from the local WI who got together in 1999 and decided to do quite a risque calendar of the ladies naked but hidden behind stuff like I don't know, fruit and all that sort of thing, but it was all for a really good cause. As one of the WI members, her husband had got leukemia and they wanted to raise money for leukemia research. So a fantastic effort from the ladies of the Rylstone WI. Went on to be obviously a film, and they raised fortunes, I think, for leukemia research. So fantastic effort. But we're out on a walk very close to here. We've got quite a few interesting history things to look at. So hopefully everything will go according to plan. The weather is absolutely fantastic at the moment. Really nice and warm. Just very pleasant, but not too warm for walking in Hore. Hopefully not. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. One thing I would like to say before I sign off for this introduction is I want to dedicate this video to my good mate Jim Brown, better known as Boardman. He's been struggling. He's had a lot on at work, and he's also had a few problems, not only with his knee but also one or two other things. So Mr. Brown, this is for you, but to all the subscribers and people that watch, also for you guys as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Right, we're at the first stop today. This is the Rylstone Cross, and it has quite a bit of history as this thing. It stems back to Napoleonic times, and England started their hostilities with Napoleon in 1803, and for a year or so Napoleon toyed with the idea of invading England, and so all over the country there were a bit of a dad's army, a bit like World War II, who prepared to take Napoleon should he take the plunge. Now, after the defeat at Trafalgar, and more importantly at Waterloo, the threat of invasion was well and truly over, and the locals of Rylstone wanted to celebrate with a monument. But they had no money, so they climbed to the top of Fell, cut and chipped out a pillar and erected it. And then in 1887, to celebrate 50 years of Victoria on the throne, the locals decided to put wooden arms on the pillar to form a cross. And this stood for many years, and then either through weather or vandalism, it fell down. And in 1995 it was replaced by what can only be described as this magnificent cross, courtesy of a local farmer called Jim Cagill, who put up the money, I think, for the cross. So another interesting fact is that allegedly the soldiers who fought in the Napoleonic Wars brought back a recipe for battered pudding that now has made all over the world and known as Yorkshire pudding. But I've got to tell you, this is the very first time I've ever been to the Rylstone Cross. And I've got to say, from up here, it's absolutely stunning. It certainly won't be the last. If I walk up to the top here, you can sort of look at the view. It's just incredible. And you've got Rylstone Church down in the bottom there, where I started the walk, so you can see it there. But yeah, and there's a little plaque at the bottom here, which mentions Jim Cagill. Could do a bit of a smart up, really, but absolutely incredible. And it's amazing when you walk up to something, you don't think it looks that big, and then when you get up here you realise it's quite a chunk of rock. You wouldn't want it falling on you anyhow, that's for sure. But I think they've done a pretty good job. I think it'll stand the test of time with this one. But yeah, so that's the interesting history of the Rylstone Cross. Right, on to impressive monument number 2. So this time we've got the Cracoe and Rylstone obelisk, which was unveiled in 1922, obviously to commemorate the soldiers that died in the First World War. And in attendance was Colonel W.W. Maud, and he might have been related to a couple that are on this memorial, because there's a couple of Mauds on it. So you never know, maybe that's part of his reason for being here. Was not only was I up in the army, but also maybe related to like I say, some of the soldiers that were on it. And it has 13 names inscribed on it of the men of Cracoe Rylstone who gave up their lives in World War I, and also 3 from World War II. And it actually stands at 23 foot 6 inches high, and is made of sandstone. And as you can see below where the plaque is, they'd carved the names in into the rock, but obviously they've put up a brass plaque which I'll try and get a closer picture of. But same again, it's a very fitting memorial, but not only that, they've obviously come up and laid the wreath, which they must do on Remembering Sunday, but the view from up here is just absolutely incredible. It's just truly inspiring. I can't believe it. Just walk up to the top and show you, same again, back into the valley on the other side. So I think you've got, looking down at, I think that's Hetton over there, or is it this way? But just the quarry there near Linton. But yeah, so as you can see, quite a beautiful place, really amazing. So I recommend you come up here, and it is a very impressive monument. So well done to Crayco and Rillstone for this. Right, I've just got a couple of minutes breather near the obelisk, and actually, to be fair, I'm planning on wild camping not too far from here. I could probably get there within the next half an hour or an hour or so. But surprisingly enough, I'm not going to do the easy route. I'm going to go back in the direction that we've come, and I'm going to go and sort of circumnavigate the hill at the other side. But there's a few birds of prey up here and all sorts of stuff. I wish Chris JB would tell me what they are, but I don't know. But if I get a picture of you, he might be able to tell me afterwards. But yeah, we're going to go the long way around because we've got plenty of time on his hand, and I've got to keep saying to myself, I'm not in a rush. We've got this day booked off. We've got plenty of time. We've got plenty of light on our side. The weather's fantastic, and we've just got to enjoy it. So keep tuning in. Right, we've dropped over onto the other side now, and we're, as you can see, I think we're overlooking Wharfdale now. So we're looking at Bolton Abbey. We're part on Bolton Abbey Estate, that's for sure. There's another Land Rover kicking about. There's a bridle way all the way around this. Some of it you can obviously just come on foot and on a horse. The rest of it, there is some of it you can cycle, but some of it you can't. But yeah, it's just, as I was saying to you earlier, it's just absolutely stunning countryside. So we're about 2/3 of the way to walk for where we're going to camp. I really enjoy it, not really seeing many people, which is fantastic. So sun's out and we're having a good time. So up on Bardon Moor, we've just managed to get some water from this sort of like little sort of water sort of storage place up on the hill. So that's it. It looks obviously like there's I think they've been mining up here at some point, because obviously there's a chimney there, and there's looks like a small house out there. So it's either for shooting or for mining. I think it is mines, but yeah, obviously some industry around here at some point. Right, everybody, I finally got here. I'm here at Thorpe Fell Top, which is 506 metres high, and I've got to say to you, the views from up here are just tremendous. I'll try and do you a 360 if I can. Let's just see if we can do that. So there, it's just magnificent. And what I will say is, you know, I said to you that it wasn't far from the obelisk and I could probably walk down. Well, I think you look up here, you might just be able to catch the obelisk behind me somewhere. It's definitely there now. Is that it there? So it's only about a mile away. So I could have done it instead. I've done about 6 miles, but I needed to go down the bottom because I had to get some water, and it's been a really pleasant walk around the circumnavigation of the Thorpe Fell Top. So I really enjoyed it. All I will say is there's a bridleway that runs around here, which has been really good to walk on, but obviously they use its shooting moors, so I don't really know whether they want me up here. And my initial intention was to camp away from the summit so nobody could find me, but to be honest with you, I think this is probably going to be likely its safest place, and I've just got fingers crossed if they do come up here that they'll let me stay and that nobody can be really bothered, because it's a bit remote, is this? It's in the really middle of nowhere, so fingers crossed. We'll see how we go. Right, just a very quick little review. Got some new gear with me tonight, so this is I've got my summer set up. So I've got my Thermarest Hyperion 20 sleeping bag, so that's my summer sleeping bag. It goes down to -6, so should be fine. I've got a little silk liner to go with it as always. I've got my Sail to Summit pillow, but the new investment is the Thermarest Neo Uber Light, and this is, it feels like it's about as thick as a blooming bin liner, so but it's incredibly light, so fingers crossed it lives up to its billing. Everybody certainly online it gets good reviews, so fingers crossed that stacks up and we have a comfortable night on it. It's only got an R rating of 2 point odd, which compared to my Xtherm, which is 6.9, it's going to be a lot cooler, but tonight it shouldn't be a problem because we're red hot tonight. So yeah, so that's a summer setup, so time to get some vibes on and time to get something cooking. Right, well, all I can say to you is it's an absolutely incredible evening tonight. Just to let you know, we just boiled some water and we've just run out Expedition Foods beef stroganoff with rice. I don't think I've ever had stroganoff ever in my life, but it sounds alright to me. And obviously in the as a homage to Mr. Floyd, obviously we're just going to have a quick slurp. So we've got a nice drop of rouge. I've got to say this evening so far is just absolutely out of this world. The views up here, I can see Ingleborough, I can see Pendle Hill, I can see all over the place, and it's just absolutely glorious. I think this could be the best wild camp I've ever been on. Anyhow, cheers. Good morning, folks. It's about, I don't know, 5:15. Just watched the sun come up. Absolutely fantastic, glorious morning. I'll get you a few pictures. Just having a nice brew. Had a decent night's sleep. Sorry I didn't check in with you before I went to sleep. I think the wine and the whiskey must have kicked in, so that's it. But I feel okay this morning, so that's good. So we've got another day ahead of us today, another fairly longish walk really. Might stop at a pub on the way back if we get a chance, if I can find a table, that's the other thing. But should be another splendid day today. Supposed to be even warmer than yesterday, so might need the old buff on to stop the head burning. But yeah, so all I could say to you is this has just been an absolutely fantastic wild camp, a real fantastic wild camp. So I'm going to have a brew and give it probably about another hour or so, and then we'll get packed up and we'll get on his way. Right, we're all packed up and ready to go. I'm going to start walking in a moment. It's about 7:30, something like that. Just want to say, last night somebody asked me on social media, they said, do you live by, leave no trace? And I just want to say this. I think any wild camper who values the countryside, they don't just go by, leave no trace. It's so incredibly important that I'd stop wild camping if I couldn't leave it as I found it, and that's as much as I can say. So if you can look behind me, the only bit is you've got a little bit of flattened ground, that's all really. But hardly, there's absolutely no chance, certainly of anybody knowing that I've even been here. All my rubbish comes away with me. I carry it all back down with me. In all honesty, carrying it down's easy because I've got less food, certainly got no wine, I've certainly got no whiskey. So it's a much lighter pack this morning than it was last night. But this is personal, and as far as I'm concerned, if you don't live by this as a wild camper, then you're not a wild camper. You're nothing short of a vandal. Anyhow, that's the political correctness sort of thing there. So just behind us there, see the trig point. So like I say, we're going to make us way down now, and we've got a few more things to discuss history wise. So looking forward to today. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic day. So as I came down off Thorpefell Top, walking down towards Thorpe in the Hollow, and it was just such a glorious day. Really had the moor to complete to myself. I don't think many people go this way at all because the gates didn't look like they were open. In fact, to be honest with you, there was quite a few of the gates that it was almost like they didn't really want you to go that way. But it was just a splendid walk down, and they don't allow any dogs on that part of the moor. And the interesting thing was the birds that were there were just incredible. As I said before, I'm not very expert on what birds they are, but I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me, either Chris, JB, or maybe one or two others that watch. I'll have more of a grasp on it. But a really beautiful place, and a really pleasant walk down into the valley to what is what I consider to be an absolutely unbelievable village. Well, I'm walking back down now off the Thorpe Fell top, and I've just got to say this walk's just absolutely incredible. I'm loving it. Quick shout out to Mark, the Y Explorer. He's left me some nice comments on a few of my videos, so thank you for that, Mark. He does some exceptional videos about the Wye Valley and elsewhere, so certainly give his YouTube channel a look up. So that's the Y Explorer, so thank you, Mark, and keep enjoying yourself and getting out there. Right, I'm above Thorpe in the Hollow, and I'm at what is known as El Bolton Cave, or as the locals call it, they call it Navvy Noodle Hole. And it don't look right very much, but apparently if you go inside it, there is a big cave system down here. It drops down about 20 foot. You've got to crawl down to the bottom, and then it drops quite severely, as I've looked online. So it's quite an extensive cave system. Now, according to L.O.L. Sutcliffe, which the famous Crossroads author, and obviously L.O.L. Sutcliffe said it's got to be true, El Bolton Hill, should I say, is known as the Hill of the Fairies. But like I say, it's more famous for this Navvy Noodle Hole here, which was excavated in the late 19th century and found to contain Neolithic and Bronze Age human remains. So that might have been a bit of a shock for someone. And I was looking at doing a bit of research online, and there was a guy telling me how he went caving there, and when he got down to bottom part of this to walk on flat, which is about 20-30 foot deep, he said there were some livestock, so I don't know whether it was a sheep or a cow that was stuck there. He had to go over it remains that cattle's body, which is a bit of a shame. So I think that at some point they did have some sort of grill over the top of the hole, but not anymore. But it don't look like anybody comes up here very often, so maybe people don't bother very much now. But yeah, so that's Navvy Noodle Hole. Right, I thought over there was the entrance hole, but it isn't. I just saw it online and I thought that was the entrance hole, but I've come round over the top of the hill and I found the actual entrance hole. This is all fenced off, as you can see, because this is where the drop is. So it's 20-30 foot, so you fall down there, you've got a big problem. And the reason it's fenced off is like I said to you before, I think livestock have fallen down here in the past. So so that is Navvy Noodle Hole. I think you could probably get in from the other side, but it's nowhere near as wide as this. So this is a proper entrance, and I'll put a picture on when they've potholed it before. But obviously, same again, it doesn't look like many people come up here very often. But that's it. Probably a good job they fenced it off though, because you could be wandering across here and come in for a bit of a nasty shock. So yeah, so quite interesting history of Navvy Noodle Hole, or El Bolton Cave. Right, I mean, Thorpe in the Hollow, what an absolutely incredible, beautiful village this is. Absolutely tremendous. You never even know it were here. But I'm going to tell you a right story now, so sit down and get yourself comfortable. Just ain't sheep being sheared and coming through. I'll put a picture on later on, but this is an amazing tale, is this. So get ready for it. By the way, before I start on the big story, just want to tell you, this place is famous. It was a place where there were a lot of cobblers, and they used to make shoes for all the monks at Fountains Abbey, and it kept them in business for a long time. So it's famous for that. I think people from Northampton even come here. It's almost like a pilgrimage to come and see one of the first places that did cobbling. So that's a little bit of extra for you. But the story I'm about to tell you is quite remarkable. It's about between Thorpe in the Hollow and the Burnsall mystery. And it's the mysterious disappearance of a 66-foot maypole that used to be in Burnsall, and it thrust Burnsall and Thorpe in the Hollow into the limelight. And it was just before May 1991's May Day celebrations that Burnsall's residents awoke to find out that the maypole had gone missing. Now, the £150 pole had only been standing for 9 months, and it was bought by money raised by the community to replace the previous one that had been blown down in high winds. and it had been clean and striped for the May celebrations. Meanwhile, a mile and a half away here in Thorpe, Thorpe in the Hollow, equally amazed residents woke to find a maypole similar to the one at Burnsall, concreted into the ground and proudly flying the Union Jack. Villagers, however, remained tight-lipped, and they said nothing really. They said they hadn't heard anything or seen anything, and it sort of mirrors a similar sort of thing that happened in 1804. Anyhow, in the 1991 Paris magazine, it told that the maypole at Burnsall had been taken away in the dead of night by the merry cobblers of Thorpe, and remained undiscovered for some time, which much amusement to the people of Thorpe. However, a sharp encounter with those lads of the Lapstone leather, it was brought back in triumph with victorious shouts from the Burnsall boys, and again fixed to its original position. So obviously nearly 200 years later, Burnsall residents were taking the latest disappearance as a bit of fun, but were keen to see their maypole returned and the £150 reimbursed. Alan Stockdale, chairman of the Burnsall Parish Council, at a meeting said, "It was not totally unexpected, but I didn't think they would actually put it up. But it has all taken in the spirit intended, and provided it is returned." But over in Thorpe, the attitude was a bit more, "We're getting quite to like the maypole," said Ken Gamble, chairman of Thorpe Parish meeting. "It looks very proud standing there, and I think it's rather nice. I was seeing sheep at about 10 p.m. and saw nothing in the village the next morning, and there it was, concreted in. The people of Burnsall point the finger at us, but I don't know how it got there." So they're all keeping going with this sort of ruse. And then anyhow, top and bottom of it is they eventually put it back. And it didn't last very long because it blew down again, and people started turning up from all over Chop Track to find this maypole, so they got a bit sick of it. And for a little while they put a smaller maypole in, but it got laughed at. It was called a mere twig or an imposter. In fact, I think somebody actually put it's nothing short of a disgrace, which is a bit of a strong statement. But yeah, so the interesting bit of fun there with the old maypole between Thorpe and Burnsall. So if you want to know why Burnsall has no longer got a maypole, that is the reason why. But Thorpe in the Hollow don't need a maypole. It's an absolutely stunning village. Right, I've just stopped here because we're in Linton and Craven now, and just looking at this house over the other side here, and this is really significant for Crossroads because this used to be the home of Hallowell Sutcliffe, and this is when he obviously spent most of his life, and I don't blame him. It's just absolutely glorious. In fact, up until a couple of years ago, the house belonged to Fattorini's, of the jewellers fame, but they sold it. I think it came up for about £1 million. Magnificent house. If I'd have had £1 million out back at Sofa, I might have put a bid in myself. But yeah, so that was the home of Hallowell Sutcliffe. Right, we're still in Linton and Craven, and this is another chocolate box sort of a village. The bridge there has significance for somebody I know, but that'll remain private. But here we've got the Fountain Inn, or people call it the Fountain Inn. It's actually the Fountain Inn. And it's the Fountain Inn because it's named after Richard Fountain, who was born in 1639. And I first read about this guy in Hallowell Sutcliffe's book, The Striding Dales. And Hallowell Sutcliffe said, and now it has been said before, our Crossroads brethren, Hallowell, is well known for spinning a yarn. and many historians, including the famous one in Howth, really don't get him, as he makes stuff up. And this is another example, because Richard Fountaine was a son of Linton and was educated at Burnton before going to London to become a haberdasher. And that's how he made his money. And Jane Houston discovered this when she was researching the history of Richard Fountaine. Now, Helliwell Sutcliffe's versions is far better. What Helliwell Sutcliffe said is that Richard Fountaine went to London during the plague in the 1660s, or 1665, 1666, and he caught the plague. And because he was one of not only did he catch the plague though, he survived, and that meant that he was something like 1 in 3 in every 100 caught the plague and survived. And because he caught the plague and survived, it meant he could go and collect the dead in, and he made a lot of money because of that, and also made a lot of money out of wood after the Great Fire of London. But so obviously, according to Jane Houston, that is totally incorrect. But I've got to say, obviously, I'm going to side with my man from Crossroads because I think his story's better anyhow. But the main thing about Richard Fountaine was, when he died, he bequeathed some money for a hospital to be built down in Essex, which I don't think ever got built, but a hospital to be also built in Linton in Craven. And just look at this. This is magnificent, really, really, truly magnificent. What they must have thought when this started being constructed, I do not know, but it's just incredible. It's now almshouses, so anybody who's lucky enough to live here now must feel really, really spoilt. But yeah, that's the interesting history of Richard Fountaine, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building. So if you ever get a chance to come and have a look, please do. And I've just spoken to a couple that have just moved into almshouses. It's a really lovely couple, and they told me that the chapel's open and you can go and have a look. So this is a chapel that was in the middle, so this is down to Richard Fountaine as well, but absolutely stunning. Right, I can't tell you how blessed I feel here. This is just incredible, right? I've come to see, obviously, the almshouse, or the hospital that Richard Fountaine bequeathed, and I got talking to this lovely couple just outside. I said, who just moved in, and they said, I said, oh, you're lucky to live here. And guess what? This happens to be none other than Tricia Stewart, one of the Calendar girls, in fact, the Calendar girl whose husband unfortunately got leukemia. Is that correct?
No, that was Angela's husband.
Sorry. All right. Sorry. Right. Okay. Well, that's it. It was Angela's husband. Right. Miss February. Right. So Tricia, which were you then? Miss October. Well, I was born in October, so that was a good choice. But just saying, what a fantastic place it is to live in Linton in Craven, and yeah, she's very kindly given me a signed copy of a book. So I would suggest you go out and buy this, because I think that'll be a fantastic read. What I think you said, you're originally from Sunderland, did you say Tricia? But so you,
Time ago.
yeah, you've been around here about half a century, but you still got the accent. But I thought, and I said it at the start of this video when you say it is, I just thought what you did regarding From the Calendar Girls was just absolutely tremendous. So you must have enjoyed the, yeah.
It was an incredible experience, and we'll go on again. The musical will tour again once COVID's over, and it'll all start to happen again, I think.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, you enjoy living at the in the magnificent house designed by Richard Fountaine, or bequeathed by Richard Fountaine, and I can't tell you how pleased I am. You made my video extra special, so thank you, Tricia. Right, here we are, folks. We're back at Rildstone Church. What an absolutely incredible couple of days. It's just been absolutely amazing. Weather's been out of this world. I've got arms like a lobster. They're a bit red. Note to oneself, packed sunscreen. So I'm going to have a sore neck and sore arms tomorrow, I should imagine. But it's been totally worth it. What an absolutely fabulous couple of days. And like I say, topped off today by obviously meeting a Calendar girl as well. You just couldn't make it up. So I hope you enjoy the video. I really, really do. I think it's going to probably be one of my best. I hope you come and visit this place, because it's just totally beautiful. And you know, if you enjoy what you see, please either like or subscribe to the channel. And you know, if you want to be notified of future videos, then just click the bell icon and it'll tell you when I post something. But sorry I'm not as frequent maybe as some people, but I've got to take a bit of preparation, because obviously I do the history side of things, and it sometimes takes a bit of time. But all I will say is thanks for watching, and keep on troddling. Take care.